Hello everyone, my name is Rafi Fazl, and today I'll be presenting our team's feasibility study titled Developing a Cross-Platform Indie Cup Stacking Game. Our study explores how a small independent team can design and release a simple yet engaging game that works seamlessly across multiple platforms, whether that's mobile, PC, and even consoles. In this presentation, I'll introduce our team's overall vision for the project and then focus on the technical feasibility. In other words, how the game can realistically be developed and brought to life. I will be presenting this alongside with Andres Gonzalez and Anish Rai. Introducing our vision. Our vision started with a very simple but universally fun idea, cup stacking. It's a fast, rhythmic, and competitive activity that almost everyone can understand within seconds. Translating that into a digital game, which lets players test their reflexes and precision while competing against not only themselves, but maybe later on other people. We wanted this project to capture that same feeling of quick satisfaction, where just a few seconds of quick gameplay can turn into hours and maybe even days of the user trying to beat their best time. But what makes our vision unique is the cross platform accessibility. We don't want players to be limited by just the device that they own, whether that's just a phone or an iPad that's on the go, or a PC or a computer that's at home, or a console that they may have. They can all enjoy the same experience and just have fun. At its core, our vision is connection through simplicity, bringing people together in a game that's easy to play, quick to learn, and most of all, fun to master. Technical feasibility. Now let's talk about how we can make that vision technically feasible. One of the biggest advantages of this project is its simplicity. A cup stacking game does not require heavy graphics, an advanced AI, or massive servers. This means we can focus on creating a polished and consistent experience without worrying about the game's performance limitations. To build the game, we plan to use the Unity game engine, which is widely used by indie developers mainly because of its flexibility and its ability to export to multiple platforms. With Unity, we can create one main version of the game, and from there, we can adapt it to each platform. So that would include adding touch controls for mobile devices, and mouse and keyboard input for PC, and gamepad and controller support for consoles. The main technical challenge will be making sure that the gameplay feels the same across all devices. The stacking speed, the timing, and the physics, they all need to behave the same whether someone's playing on a phone, a PC, or a console. As you can see, we've also mapped out the general gameplay flow where the user will be on the start menu. Once they click the right settings, get away from the menu, they can start playing the game, start stacking the cups. And from there, their score will be calculated for the game. And their score, if their score is good enough, they'll either move on to the next level, or if it's not, they'll have to retry, and it shows how the game runs through a simple and very repeatable cycle to keep players engaged. And because of its simple structure, development across multiple devices feels realistic and achievable. And so this technical foundation sets the stage for everything else in our study. And with a solid vision and technical plan, our project has a very strong starting point to explore how this can go into a successful cross-platform title.
And thank you to our previous presenter, Rafael. My name is Andres Gonzalez, and I'm going to be covering the financial feasibility of this project. Um, the game simplicity is once again in our favor for this project, allowing costs to be lower compared to a lot of industry games, even in the indie market. So we expect to see a development budget of eight to $20,000, and this is going to cover things like engine tools, programming, and marketing. Because we believe that this can be done with a development team of 3 to 5 people, we more likely won't see investors. However, the initial investment of income would more likely be from the development team themselves because this would be their profits to see as well. The estimated future income, uh, once the product is actually out and making money, we expect to see fifty to $75,000 income throughout the life of its game. Free to pay, free to download and play on the mobile, but 70 cents in-app purchases, so that's where you see the range. A similar thing applies, 70 cents for in-game purchases, but in this time for the console and PC, it's actually going to be a fee of $4.99 to download this game. And on to operational feasibility, we can see really simplified down here on this graph or chart here that with our team of 35 people, we're going to see the first and third month, first through the third month being the major groundwork, prototyping, gameplay, visuals, etc. Months 4 through 8 will be developing core features, testing on PC, mobile, and console, getting a feel for the game. Months 11 through 10 going to be the beta release, really hyper focused on getting customer feedback, which a lot of game development teams really struggle on. Which it's going to encompass uh, being engaged with the customers through forums and communities such as Discord and Reddit, and then final launch. Um, Always looking for the feedback from these customers because the hardest thing to do with a game like this, a very simple game actually, is to make sure there's always constant engagement, whether it's we install leaderboards, making it ultra competitive, tournaments, things like that. And on to legal feasibility here. We believe that it's going to be a very low risk project here legally because this is a cup stacking game. There's not a lot um, to really kind of cater to, such as like sensitive themes, heavy uh, or explicit content is simply cup stacking. Of course, we have to watch out for licenses and copyrights and such, um, like visual and audio copyright licenses. Audio could be avoided by simply recording your own sounds. Visually, would be developing our own visuals as we expect to. The game engine license. We wouldn't have to pay anything for development processes until it surpasses the game, surpasses its 200,000 lifetime income mark, which at that point we would start paying for the licenses and etc. Also getting licenses to be hosted on platforms such as the App Store, Google Play, and Steam, and then of course having strict privacy laws and adhering to the privacy laws regarding data collection. And that's it for my part on legal feasibility. Now it's going to be on to our next presenter, Anish Rai.
Hello everyone, my name is Anish Rai. First, I would like to thank Rafi and Andres for their wonderful presentation on the previous slides. I will be now covering the remaining sections starting with environmental feasibility. From our study, we found that our game can be fully launched online, meaning no physical copies will be required. This helps eliminate package waste and eliminate packaging waste and contributes to environmental preservation. Because the game does not require heavy graphics or large servers, it technically demands a minimum. By using energy efficient hosting services, we can reduce both operational cost and carbon emission. Another key point is that the game can run on older devices, helping extend device lifespan and reduce e-waste. Overall, our project is environmentally sustainable and low impact. Let's move on to the next slide. Key risks and unintended consequences. The biggest risk we have identified is market oversaturation. The indie game market is extremely crowded, with over 13,000 indie games released each year. It can be difficult to stand out and to succeed and to be profitable. Our social media presence and the game unique competitive hook will be very essential to doing so. We also need to manage the risks of team burnout by scaling development gradually instead of trying to launch the game on every platform at once. Finally, we want to ensure accessibility for all the players. For example, by including a colorblind mode, people who are colorblind they can enjoy the game properly. And let's move on to the conclusion. In conclusion, after analyzing all factors, our team has determined that developing this cross-platform cup stacking game is highly feasible. The project's strength lies in its simple, addictive concept and low technical and financial barrier, making it ideal for small indie studio. The main challenges will be marketing the game and retaining the player base in such a crowded market. Our final recommendation is to proceed with the project through a progressive rollout, meaning you start with a PC release to build a community and test the market. Then use the success to expand to mobile and console platform. This approach will minimize the risks and maximizing the potential to create a fun, simple and profitable indie game. Thank you. Once again, here are our names and the email. If you want to contact us or if you want to talk about something, you can email us on these emails seen on the screen. Thank you. And the last slide is for the reference. Let's go to that one. These are the references that we use. If you're interested on looking up for one of the topics, you can click on it and just like look through it. Thank you.